Hi guys, welcome to Bajerski YouTube crystal channel. It's a beautiful day today, glorious in all forms. I feel on top of the world. I think I'm wearing one of the most nicest tops I've worn for some time. Isn't that beautiful? Something about elephants, eh? Why can't mankind just leave elephants? Why can't mankind just leave animals alone? Just leave them alone. It's a beautiful day, guys. I want to talk about a crystal today, which I really can't remember if I've talked about this crystal before. Now, because I've got two channels, I kind of give you, whenever I feel I'm like working with a bunch of these crystals now. That's why I'm doing the video. So basically how I do this video is whenever I hunt down certain crystals in the world and I receive them, whether I travel to get them or whether I get my crystal diggers and my dealer friends who I trust to get me, please try and get me these, please try and get me. And then all of a sudden, after maybe 6 months, Mark, I've got some, yay! Well, today I've got some. And as I'm working with them through the past couple of weeks, when I'm nearly ready for them to go onto the website, or I've put them on the website, what I try and do then is do a video on it. So today's video, and I don't know if I've done a video of this crystal, but does it matter? Come a little closer, guys. It doesn't matter, okay? So the crystal I'm going to talk to you about today is this crystal. Let me take it off. Okay. Oh, look at that. No, it's not amethyst. It looks like it. No, it's not Super 7. It looks like it a little bit, but it's a crystal which is from my home country, UK. I think out of all the I really do like Diana Maria fluoride, but I've got to say this is a unique crystal from the UK, and I've been drawn to this crystal out of amazingness. It's just like how I came about this crystal was through my son. His love of crystals. So I'm going to introduce you to it today. It's called Blue John. Hello, Blue John. Hey, and it's from the UK. I'm not so sure if the mine is still active or closed down. I don't really go into that kind of stuff with you. You know, Matt, tell us where it's from, where it's dug. I don't care where it's dug and where it's from. I just want the piece in my hand. Let me work with it and let me feel it. Some people it's really important, but you know what? If you want to do some studying, go and do some studying. Type in Blue John and let me know where it's from. It's from somewhere in England. It's a beautiful crystal. So how was I introduced to this crystal? I think I've told you this story before, but I'm not sure. I've got like nearly 800 videos on my website, guys. It's really hard because I forget day by day what I talk about. But I can remember the power of certain crystals and how I work with them. Sometimes I get like these remembrances of how they worked with clients. And sometimes I get this feeling of why it worked and what was the connection between so many of my clients and how they healed from Blue John. First of all, Blue John, you can buy Blue John for as little as a few euros, I believe, when it's in its rough form. Then it goes on to this form, which is like polished, and then it goes on to pieces where you can spend literally hundreds of thousands to millions, okay? Blue John is really a wide spectrum of different qualities and grades. Me, you know what I'm like. I'm like that with Moldavite. I couldn't care less about the grade. I have a piece of Moldavite, which is a tiny piece, which just is as beautiful as the piece that I invested in, which is the Hedgehog Flame of Bohemia. And that's like worth a couple of cars, brand new cars. But it's only because you like the look of something. But when we talk about spiritually connecting to its energy, guys, they're all the same. Literally, the energy within whatever grade is the same as what you consider to be high or low grade, or a gemologist or I don't know. There's so many experts in this field of work. I've no time for it. All I know is that when I feel a piece of Blue John, no matter, I mean, this is amazing. Just as you touch it, wow, the feelings that I get is incredible. Blue John, when I was first introduced to it, was the most fascinating story. My son, back in the days when I was an antique dealer, and I had a couple of auction houses at one point, and I was an auctioneer. All happened quite by accident, but my son started getting interested in these minerals, and he was an avid collector of certain things. So one day he started saying, is there any chance you can take me to a crystal shop? So I'm thinking, well, why don't I take you to a crystal warehouse where we can buy the products at the price that I would be able to buy them, so I wouldn't be having to go to a shop, and I'd cut the middleman out, because I was a businessman and I had shops. So the most sanest thing to do, let's go and find one. So happens that Huddersfield at that time had a shop, a warehouse, which was called the Rock Shop, I think. Anyway, we got there and I'm just pottering around thinking, is there anything here I can buy from my shops, my antique shop? And yeah, they look nice, crystals look nice. I remember touching one as a kid, which was a pyrite. But my son was really keen, really keen. I mean, he was like in his element. And the owner of this place just so happened to start talking to me. And he said, hello, how you doing? I said, yeah, fine. Thanks. He says, where are you from then? I says, oh, I'm just down the road. I've got a shop just down here called Exhibit. He says, oh, I've seen that shop. Nice shop. I said, yeah. He said, are you interested in crystals? I said, to be honest, not really. He said, oh, what are you doing here? I says, that little lad there, my son. And I think he was only 8 years old, 9 years old. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. He's interested in these minerals and stuff. He said, is it? I said, yeah. He said, what, not from you? I said, no, he just happens to like them. So he goes over to him and starts speaking to him. Next thing, these two are having a full-blown conversation, and he said, do you want to come downstairs with your son? I want to show him a collection of crystals. And I went, yeah, okay, not really bothered, like, thinking, how long is this going to take? We goes downstairs, he opens his door, and like all these lights come on in these cabinets, and I see this collection of crystals. And my son's like, and my son's having a conversation with him, and then like, yeah, they're really nice, but not really for me. And then he starts telling him, I actually sold one of my collections. And he's telling my son, 8 years old, having a full-blown chat with him, like grown adults. And he said, and this is Blue John. And he said, it's from the UK. And he said that this is the second collection, but this is the highest collection. The second collection I had, I sent it to Sotheby's or Christie's, and it sold for millions. And it was only a few pieces. And this is the other collection, which was worth even more money. Anyway, my son was so excited. And this guy, as he was leaving, said, here, Nico, take this. And it was a piece of Blue John, a very special piece. So we left, and that's how I got introduced to Blue John. Anyway, going back to actually moving forward to many years, I became a crystal healer. And I was in Rome, and I'd only just finished a pure energy healing course for a group of, I think, 23 people, something like that. And on my day off, I went into this antique shop because I'm interested in antiques. And the front, in the front of the window was a mineral specimen case of thousands of minerals collected back in the 1930s something. So, of course, I'm looking through, seeing if there's any Moldavite in there to see, you know. And anyway, I walked around this cabinet was, I think, 450,000 euros for the cabinet and for all the minerals. So, like, okay, I'm now in one of the most expensive shops in the world. But I didn't realise that in front of me at the back corner was a chalice, and I knew straight away it was Blue John. And I picked it up and I looked at it and I was so in awe of this Blue John. It was incredible. It must have been 1927 it was cut and polished and made into the chalice. And as I turned it over. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was in fear of, because I saw the price. It must have been either 123,000 or whatever, but I took it over to the owner. I said, will you please take this from my hand? I don't want to put it back. And I said, I can't believe how much it is. He said, well, it's a very unique piece. I said, yeah, I can feel. I actually have worked with Blue John now for probably 13 years. And this crystal is one of the most unique crystals that I've ever worked with. When you look at it, you first look at it as a high-grade amethyst, and then you can see other formations within it, a bit like Super 7. This crystal is amazing to work with Super 7, by the way. Together they work hand in hand if you wear them together. Amazing. And I love Super 7. I have a lot of Super 7, whether it's all gone or not, I don't know, on my website. But Super 7 is beautiful. But let's talk about Blue John. Blue John has an amazing energy when you work with it. It's an awakening crystal, it really is, but it also brings you, I noticed on my clients, it brought balance to their energy. It really made them feel, how do you say it now? How does it make you feel? I really can't think of the word, no. There isn't really one word I can use with this crystal, but if I talk about it as I saw it within my clients, they looked at their life when they wore this. And a lot of the times, most of us don't look at our life. We kind of push it to one side and don't want to look at our bad points. And we don't want to see our faults, right? Who wants to see our faults? No, we already know them deep down. We don't want to see them. Last thing we want to do is bring them to the surface. But I think Super 7 has this great energy of bringing our challenges, our past traumas, our what we call faults. They're not really faults. They're just things that we need to rectify and heal from to the surface. But it also has an added energy in this that gives us the scaffolding. It props us up to continue and not let us fall when we see what we need to see. So it heals our inner blocks, right? Those blocks that we don't see. It brings to light. It's also an amazing crystal if you're doing spiritual work. If you're wanting to do psychic work, wear this with Moldavite, oof, blow you away. Wear this with, what are the things that I used to, amazing with Cavansite. Put these together, I've seen clients just being blown away by acceptance of their past and what they did, their faults, their guilt, or anything like that. These two crystals work together, but alone, wear this crystal alone. It will give you the confidence to move forward in your life. It will help you become stronger. It will help you see your truth. It will help you connect to the realm of spirit world so that spirit world can help you move forward in your journey. There are many things that I love about this crystal, but it is a very high vibration crystal. It's one that if you're on a spiritual path and you want to grow, if you want to raise your vibration to a new level of seeing, being, and performing in the psychic, in the healing, in meditation, in mantra, all those things that we strive to become more aware of and more powerful within the realms of that work. Blue John is amazing for that. It does bring a sense of calmness when you're meditating. It does bring a sense of awakening. It does connect you to your family and spirit. If you've lost a family and spirit world, this is a great crystal to feel them again, because it brings you to that vibration of connection, which means it helps you clear the fear, the worry, the guilt, the sadness, because you can never connect if you're in that energy. So this is a great crystal for that. What other things do I like about this crystal? I guess if we're looking at a physical state, what it does in a physical state, Blue John, is It's very clever. When you wear it, you don't really need to do too much. It does the work for you. And like when you've got, I remember clients who had many issues with physical, with their eyes, a great one for eyes, stress related. But I think what I remember most of all about Blue John was a client who had multitude of illnesses. And I noticed it always went for certain illnesses which were, I guess, the worst illness. So the worst block, because illness is always connected to physical, emotional. So it, you know, when you're working on like your emotional issue, it certainly helps clear the physical. So the worst case scenario, like a client of mine had retinal damage. When they wore it, it started to heal that. But then when it started to heal that, and once that damage, after so long, it might have taken 2 or 3 months that I worked and done my energy work with them, and they would place it over their eye, and I would work with that, we would see a progression of healing. And then from there, something else would be triggered. Like they would feel something else, another issue in their body. And then we would work on that issue. So it's a crystal that really targets the highest energy or lowest energy of the physical that needed to be repaired. That's why I love this crystal, because it's very clever. It does its own work. And I used to work with it. So how I used to work is I'd gift a piece of Blue John, and I'd say, okay, so the client would say there's so many things wrong with me. I'd gift them a piece of Blue John, and they'd come back a week later and say, oh my God, I'm been getting so many bad pains in my eye. Okay, so now we know what we need to target, because those pains are what the Blue John is targeting, and it's giving you the information that that's what we need to work on. So then I'd place it on their eye, and then I'd do the work, and then after 6 weeks, 7 weeks, they'd come back again. Oh, I've got a really bad pain in my pancreas. Okay, let's work on that now. And so on. And what I'd noticed after a year, 2 years, that those illnesses would disappear, and then they'd be able to control their life, and they'd be able to see and feel better in their stomach, and so forth. So rounding this crystal up to say to you that this crystal works on many levels, that is really true. That is really true. This crystal works on so many levels, and it is a very, very clever crystal to find out what needs to be healed from your emotions from a child, and help the burden, and help the ongoing challenge of going through seeing what needs to be healed from a point where we either neglect that or push it aside or don't want to see it, to allowing that to come to the surface and then healing it. What else do I see, Blue John? Wow. It's an incredible crystal. It really is. It brings calmness. It brings release. It brings harmony. It brings balance. It helps you through your daily life. And a great crystal if you want to grow spiritually speaking. It helps you through all the traumas, all the guilt, all the frustrations of life. And I guess that's how I see Blue John. And I think that's it. There's many other things, but I think those are the things that I really love Blue John for. And I actually like wearing Blue John with many other crystals. So I double it up all the time. And like I said, Cavensite was one of the main crystals I loved working with. Super 7 as well, working with Super 7 and Blue John, brilliant. And Moldavite, of course. Moldavite is a boom energy. So I hope you love this video today. I hope it serves you well. If I have made this video before, then I'm sorry guys. You might get something different from that video, which I remembered from other clients, but you'll always get that from me. So enjoy it. Let me know what you think about Blue John. Tell people underneath here where it comes from, where the mine is. I'm sure you'll be able to know more than me. I just know what the crystal has done for me and my clients. And I have to say, it's one of the most beautiful crystals in the world. Okay, guys, thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your genuine, original Blue Johns. And I'm sure if you go to your local store and ask them for a piece of Blue John, they will, of course, order it for you. And I don't think you will have a fake one. I've never come across a fake one, so I'm sure you'll get the original. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Love you all.